Alright, start. Okay. So the first thing you do is measure out whatever you need. You can cut on the cut marks, which will be here, here, over the scissors. So we're just going to go right here. Where you cut, you're going to cut right down the middle where the line is. So I'm going to make a cut right there. That should be your finished product on the cut. Then you're going to get your cable. Right here we're using 18-2. So we're just going to cut just for sample today. We're going to do a little one. I guess scissors wasn't the best idea for that. Alright. Alright, now that you have your tape, whatever measurement you need, and then your wire, you can measure your wire out. You're going to strip your wire back and reveal the two conductors. Get rid of that. You're going to then, after the two conductors, you're going to strip those guys back. Oh, you know what? Let's do that again. For ease of soldering, make the strip a little small. So you don't want to pull back too much of the wire. So that'll be your finished product for your conductors. Depending on how long the wire is, you're gonna use your shrink tube, your heat shrink tube. Is that what you call it? Shrink tube? Yeah. So cut off what you need. You're gonna need probably about 1 inch of shrink tube. That's cool. Depending on how long the wire is, right now since it's small, you'll be able to slide it on this way. But if you're looking at 10 feet of wire, this is an important step from a time saving point. Slip it on your just cut end and then keep it on the back side. If you forget this step, to put the heat shrink tube on, lastly you have to slide it on all 10 feet. So this is a big saving time. This is called flux paste. You're gonna use that. We have a little brush. You're gonna brush your contact points with the flux paste. And then you're going to take your wires and we just coat the tips of the wire in the flux paste. You then take your soldering iron and your solder. And you get some on the tip of the soldering iron, and what you're going to do is you're going to place the tip of the soldering iron onto the wire. And if you see, which is what we call tinning the ends of the wire, and we're going to do it to both ends. Get a little more.
Yeah, let me get these batteries.
Then you're going to also tin the edges of the copper pads. So it'll look like that once you start. This makes it easier. Black wire is going to be your negative, red wire is your positive. On the board itself, you're going to have a negative and a positive. And so you're going to reheat up the one on the wire, and then what you're going to do is just touch it to the edge like that. And let it cool for a second. You made your first connection. Second wire. Gonna heat it up and then touch it to the edge of the other side and let that dry. Voila, you have your connection. Now, we're gonna strip back the other end. So before you put the heat shrink tube onto your soldered section right here, we're gonna test it first. That way, if we didn't make a good connection, we will know. So, good connection. Now what we're doing is going to take the heat shrink tube and we're going to slide it up and onto the tape a little bit if we can manage that. There we go. So I slid it up and over. Then what you're doing is you're going to take your heat gun. You take the heat gun and point it at the heat shrink tube. And what you'll see in a second is it grips onto the tape itself. There we go. So that'll be your finished wiring product.